Hello students, we are studying heat chapter and today we are going to study transfer of heat. Okay, so in transfer of heat we are going to study what? Conduction, convection and radiation. Basically we are going to cover these three topics over here today in our class. Okay, so transfer of heat, you all have observed at home. Okay, when your mother is cooking food, you go to the kitchen and just if you want try to take that touch that utensil, what happens? You keep your hands, take your hands away, isn't it? So you feel hot, isn't it? Can you understand how that heat from the utensil has reached you? Huh? Suppose if you are drinking a cup of hot milk and you're just by mistake only, if your hand goes inside the milk, what happens? You feel hotness, isn't it? And you take your hand away. Okay, so these all are things, are the questions, how this heat from the utensil or from the milk got transferred to your hand. Okay, so with this we are coming to a topic, what? Conduction. Okay, here the transfer of heat takes from a hot body to a cold body. Okay, why? You can see, if you touch a cold body, suppose, leave the hotness. If you touch the cold body, you feel cool, isn't it? At that time, comparatively, you will see what? You are hotter than that cold body. Okay, so here, those substances which allows the heat flow, or those objects which allow the heat flow, okay, is known as what? The conductors. What are insulator then? They doesn't allow the heat to flow. Okay, so first conduction we are going to study in briefly, and I am going to explain to you. Okay, suppose if you are taking a candle, okay, this is the candle and you are holding a spoon. Okay, what will happen? Have you seen it? What will happen? You hold this spoon from here. Okay, you are holding. So when you keep the spoon over here, heat is here, but after some time you will see that it has reached over here and you just move your hand, or you just take away your hand and leave the spoon, isn't it? Because you will feel hot. And this happened in the example which I had said you this time only in the beginning of the class, that you, when you touch the utensil in which the food is being cooked, what happens? You remove your hand. Hotness you can't tolerate, isn't it? One more example I'll say you. Take 2 bricks, okay? Take 2 bricks and from here just clump what? A iron rod. Okay. Now beneath this iron rod just apply some wax over here. Okay. Now you'll see what? You just apply fire over here. Okay, this is applying heat on this wax, okay, which is present over here in this iron rod. Now after 10 to 15 minutes, okay, you will see what? Initially only this wax was melting. After 10 to 15 minutes, you will see that this is also starting melting. So now the heat has reached over here. Okay. After some time, you will see this also started. And this goes on till here. Okay. It means what? Heat which was provided over here has now reached where? Here. And as the result, you can see which process has taken place. Conduction. Conduction mainly takes place in which? solids. Okay, it takes place in the solids. Okay, but all the solids we can't say, only the solids which can conduct the heat easily from one portion to the other are known as conductors, and they can conduct the heat easily. But in insulator it is very difficult. Example of conductor, you can take any metal like iron, okay, copper. Example of insulator like rubber, wood, okay. Here heat can't be transferred. It can't be transferred, isn't it? Have you seen it? Have you tried it? Okay, you tried. Here heat transfer is difficult in case of insulators. Okay, now examples of conduction I have shown over here, the experiments. So now what are the applications of this transmission of heat through conduction? First, these utensils are made up of metals, isn't it? And it gets heated very easily, and naturally this utensils with the process of conduction can cook the food easily and efficiently, isn't it? Now take the example of iron. Iron is hot, isn't it? And you press your clothes. And so this iron is also a good example of the transmission of heat through conduction. Okay. Now come to convection. Actually, in case of liquids and gases, conduction can't take place. Here, convection takes place. In this, what happens in case of what? Liquid and gases. What I am saying? Liquid and gas. What happens in this state of matter? In this, convection takes place, and here there is the movement of molecules of what? The liquid and the gas. Okay. For this, you'll see. Okay. Like in this, we can perform an experiment to see how this convection, the transmission of heat, is taking place in case of liquid as well as the gas. Okay. In this, you will take a flask, okay, and what are you going to do? You are going to heat it, okay. What are you doing? You are heating the liquid in this, okay. And now to see the movement of the molecules, how the transmission of heat is taking place in this liquid. Liquid, you can take what? Example, water, okay. Now we will just drop a crystal of potassium permanganate. Okay, actually this potassium permanganate, it has got a very dark purple pink color. We can see the magenta color. Okay, as soon as heat is applied, what will happen? This potassium permanganate, it will start, potassium permanganate crystal will start breaking into its smaller particles, and you will see what? The movement. What can you see? The movement of the molecules of this water. By the movement of the particles of this what? Potassium permanganate. You can see in this what happens as you heat it. It gets heated, the liquid over here gets heated, and as the result the molecules over here start rising up, and the molecules which are present at the side rushes to reach this position, and as the result the liquid present over here or the water present over here also gets heated, and the side the molecules which are present also comes to this position and it also gets heated. So total the process goes on in a cyclic manner. Okay, now this I explained you in case of the liquid. Now I am going to give you an example of in gaseous state. Okay, in this just gases. Okay, here you can see what we have taken for this experiment, a candle. Okay, we are burning the candle, one hand we are keeping up and one at the side. Which hand will be heated more first? Okay, it will be the hand which is above it, because here the molecules of the gases are being heated. Okay, and as it is being heated, first which is above it will be heated and then the side molecules will be heated. And so what happens, the hand which is above the fire, it will be heated faster rather than the hands which is in the side, because the first the molecules which are above it will above the fire or above where it is being heated will be heated first, and then only the side molecules will be heated. Okay, so this is about in case of liquid, convection in case of liquid, convection in liquid, and this is convection in gas. Okay, now you know in this convection the above portion which is above the heat will be heated first and then the side molecules. Okay, and here the movement of molecules are taking place in which the transmission of heat is being done. So now we are going to see regarding convection the application like sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze and land breeze you have studied, and what is that? In this we see that where land breeze and sea breeze is there the temperature of the place is moderate. Why does this happen? First we will be seeing sea breeze. What happens in this? Suppose this is the land and here is the water. During day, what happens? This sun heats up this atmosphere present on the land. What happens? As soon as the air over here is heated, it starts what? Rising up. So here hot air rises up. Okay. As soon as this hot air rises up, here space is being created, vacant, which is vacant. What happens? The sea, it doesn't get hot so fast. And as the result, what will happen? The cool air from the sea rushes towards the land and occupies this space. Okay? And as the breeze is moving from the water to the land, it is known as what? Sea breeze. Here you can see the gases are being what? Heated. It is rising up, and here the cool air is rushing towards it. This is an example of what? Convection. Okay. Now in case of land breeze, now coming to land breeze. Here you saw that it took place during what? Daytime. Land breeze takes place during what? Night. Here what happens? This is again land, this is sea. Okay. What happens during night? Here the sea, which was warm till night, what happened? Here it starts, the hot air from the sea starts rising up. And here at night, this area on the land is cool. As the result, what will happen? This cool air will start moving towards what? Sea. And this is known as what? Land breeze. Okay. Another application of convection we can see in the hotels and big buildings where we see the central AC over there. This central AC also cools the whole area by the process of convection. Okay. So when we studied about conduction and convection, okay, we saw that there was a medium. Okay, either it is solid or liquid or gas. But in radiation, we don't need any medium to transfer the heat. Okay, the best example is of the sun, from which we are getting heat and light energy, isn't it? So here the heat reaches to us by radiation. Here there we need no medium for its transmission. Okay. Another example of radiation you can see, if a hot body is kept over here. Okay. Suppose a utensil having boiled water is kept over here. If another utensil is kept near it, okay, it is also having water, okay, but here the water is not having high temperature, or it is not having much temperature. So after some time we will see that, we can't say that it has become too hot, but yes, we can see that this utensil over here is also a bit has got warmer now. Actually here the heat has been transferred from this to this by the process of radiation. You all use room heaters. These room heaters also work on the principle of radiation. Here the heat molecules or the heat energy, here the heat energy reaches to us by the process of radiation. Okay. So this is all about the transmission of heat by the process of what? Conduction, convection and radiation. Good day. Take care, students.